Hi and hello guys. Today in this video I will show you all as to how you can make your own smart LED strips using the Supla service. Okay, so this is a free service and the devices created using Supla are compatible with both Google Assistant and Amazon Alexa. So you can control the smart LED strip either using the Google Home Mini or the Amazon Alexa Echo devices. Okay, so also you can control the smart device using the associated applications on your either on your mobile phone or tablet. Okay, so without any delay, let us get started. So first head over to the Supla website or web page and then click on the hamburger icon on your top right and then choose download. So this will bring up a list of different options. Keep scrolling down until you get to this option which says H801 Wi-Fi LED controller. Okay, click on the download button and now you'll be presented with the H801 zip file that is being hosted in the Google Drive. Click on the download button and download this zip file. Okay, so next head over to the download section under the Espressif's website and there you should find the flash download tools. So click on this download option and then download the flash tools which we need for flashing the ESP board with the H801 firmware. Okay, so if you take a look into the structure of the SMD5050 LEDs, they are a lot different from the NeoPixels and the dot star or the APA102 LEDs. So the NeoPixels have 3 lines, 2 power lines and 1 data line, and the dot star and the APA102 LEDs have 2 power lines and 2 signal lines, that is the clock line and the data line. So on the other hand, if you look at the SMD5050 LEDs, they have 4 lines. One is the 12 volt line or the VCC, and other 3 are R, G and B lines, that is those lines control the color and brightness of the strip, and basically those 3 lines are to be controlled via a MOSFET connected to the Node MCU, or in my case a VMOS D1 Mini. So these MOSFETs act as sinks and then they drive the SMD5050 LEDs. The Node MCU or the VMOS D1 Mini is a 5 volt device, that is it can be powered by 5 volts, and if you supply it with 12 volts it's going to burn down. Okay, so do not do that. As a result, I have got a step down converter, that is DC to DC converter, that converts 12 volts to 5 volts and which in turn powers the VMOS D1 Mini. So I have got a header over here which connects to the input plus 12 and the ground, and I have got another header over here on which we'll be connecting our LED strip. So we have got the plus 12 volt line and then the R, G and then B line. Okay, so the H801's firmware predefines the pin, and H801's driver pins match the D6, D7 and D8 of the VMOS D1 Mini. I will leave the pin configuration of the VMOS D1 Mini also in this description of this video. If you are using another Node MCU other than the VMOS D1 Mini, you can translate the D6, D7 and D8 pins to the corresponding pins of the Node MCU and then connect your MOSFETs to those pins. Okay, so after making a wiring diagram, I verified the schematic and I have got a PCB layout over here which you can probably fabricate if you want. Otherwise you can just use a general purpose PCB. Okay, so now we'll move over to the firmware burning process. So in order to flash your ESP8266 board or the Node MCU or the VMOS D1 Mini, first unzip the flash tool that you just downloaded and also unzip the H801.zip file that you downloaded. You should find the details for all the firmware inside the H801 folder. Once you are into the H801 folder, double click and open the readme document. Okay, So now we'll start burning the firmware. For that, open the flash download folder or the flash tools folder and then run the exe file. Click on developer mode and click on ESP8266 download tool. So now you will have some space over here where we need to make the selections. Have this readme document as a reference. Paste the addresses over here. Copy the first address, paste it here. Copy the second address, paste it here. Copy the third address and paste it here. Okay. Now click on the three dots over here. And the first file that you need to choose under the H801 folder is the boot file. Okay. So once that is loaded, click on the second set of three dots and then choose the H801 binary as indicated over here. Okay. Choose that, choose open, and then now click on the third dotted symbols and then choose the ESP file. Add the tick mark against all these three. Set the crystal frequency based upon the frequency of the Node MCU crystal. Okay. So leave the SPI speed at 40 MHz. The SPI mode should be DIO and the flash size should be set to 8 megabits. 8 M bit. Okay. So leave others as it is, and now from the drop down against the COM port, select the COM port on which you have got the Node MCU or ESP8266 or the VMOS D1 Mini connected, and now choose start. So now you should see a finish sign or a prompt. You won't get any dialog prompt or additional pop-up menus indicating that the process has been finished. You need to watch this space over here. Once that is done, you can close that. Now restart your Node MCU or VMOS D1 Mini. So now if you scan for Wi-Fi, you should have the ESP8266 listed as Supla device on an access point mode. Okay, so before you connect to it, head over to cloud.supla.org /login. I will leave the links for this in the description of this video. Create an account with Supla and then log in into the Supla Cloud Console. Once you are into the Supla's Cloud Console, you should see two credentials or details on your screen. One will say Supla device and another one is the Supla client. Okay, so these are the details that we need to enter onto the Node MCU or the ESP device. Okay, so while having this window open, what you need to do is connect to your Supla's access point. Okay, so now I'm connected to the Supla's access point. Open a browser and type 192.168.4.1 after you are connected to the Supla access point. You will get a confirmation that you have got the H801 firmware. Okay. And under Wi-Fi settings, give your Wi-Fi credentials, that is the Wi-Fi SSID and password. And under the Supla settings over here, get the server details from over here. You need to key in the server address from here onto over here, and the location identification will be this value that you need to paste over here, and then the location password from here to here. Okay, once you are done that, you can give save. After you save the details, press the reset button on the Node MCU and then you will see the access point vanish, which indicates the Supla connecting to your Wi-Fi. Okay, so now if you head over to My Supla, you need to click on, now you can see that after initiating the registration process by clicking on here, so first this is how it will be. It will say that registration of new IO devices inactive. After you enabled that, you should see your H801 device over here. Click on the H801 icon or a box and then click on the first box that you have got, and under function click on that, and from the drop down choose dimmer and RGB lighting, and then choose save changes. Next I will show you as to how you can link Google Assistant and Alexa with Supla. Open the Google Home app on your device, and from that click on the plus icon, choose set up a device, and then choose works with Google. Click on the search icon and type Supla. Now sign in with the credentials, and you should be logged in into the Supla account. Okay, so now open the Amazon Alexa app, click on more, and then choose skills and games, and click on the search icon and search for Supla. And if you have not enabled the skill, you will have an enable skill option. Click on that and link your Supla account, and then you should have your Supla device over here.
So what I have got here is the board, distance of which I showed earlier, and then I have got the SMT5050 LED strip connected to the board. So we have got the 12 volts line coming in, and then the plus 12 volts, and then the RG, and then the B lines.